Hello, it's Kelly again with Infinity Hypnosis SLP. So in this very short video, I'm going to talk a little bit about kids and hypnosis. So I get this question again all the time, can hypnosis work for my child? And that's a great question. We know that a ton of kids have feeding difficulties. It's very prevalent, very common. So first of all, we have to make sure that if your child's feeding difficulty is going to work with hypnosis, we have to make sure that first, the feeding difficulty is in fact ARFID. There's a lot of children with feeding difficulties where the root cause is not something like ARFID. It's not a phobia of eating. It's something else like a medical component, or maybe they have a true oral motor difficulty, or maybe they have some behavioral concerns because of an ASD diagnosis or sensory concerns, something like that. So if it's anything like that and not a true food phobia, then really hypnosis is not appropriate for them. There are other therapies that are appropriate for them that I can help with, or my team of speech pathologists can help with, or a variety of other professionals can help with. But really hypnosis in that case is not the most appropriate. Hypnosis is really for those people that have a true food phobia, which is really the hallmark characteristic of something like ARFID. So if that is not the case for your child, then really hypnosis wouldn't be appropriate. So if you have gotten a diagnosis and your physician is sure that ARFID is the case, you've tried other things aren't working, and you're like, wow, this really does seem like a true food phobia. They're afraid to put things in their mouth. They have rules around food that really don't seem very rational. Maybe they have anxiety around food, all the things that go along with ARFID. Then hypnosis might be appropriate. With little kids, it really honestly is challenging. I mean, it's not that they can't get into a really deep meditative state. I mean, kids play in a meditative play world. You see them, they do make believe all the time. They make believe they're superheroes, they're princesses. That's kind of a made up world. That's kind of in their subconscious world, right? So it's not that they can't get there. It's hard for us to get them to do on command. I mean, can you imagine a 4-year-old listening to an audio, or listening to me have them sit calm and not squirmy for 10-15 minutes? That can be really hard for like a 4-year-old or even a 6-year-old. That can be really challenging. So that's a big reason why it's really hard for little kids. The other reason why it's really hard for little kids is because if you've listened to my videos before, you know that one of the biggest keys with hypnosis is the person really has to want to change. And really, I mean, if you have a 4 or 5-year-old and maybe their diet consists of Captain Crunch cereal, milk, and maybe they like toasted bread, it's fine. If I was that kid's parent, I'm not going to withhold food. I am not an advocate of withholding food. So I'm going to provide my child with that food. So they're getting their needs met. They're happy. They don't see the ramifications of not eating well. They're not an adult that's missing out on social events. Maybe they're missing out on nutritional needs. An adult can see maybe weight loss or weight gain or heart conditions, or they're not able to participate in sports because of energy, or maybe they're even missing out on job promotions because they can't do social events with their work functions. So a 4 or 5-year-old is not going to see the need for change. Their parents will, and their parents are very concerned about all the needs not being met nutritionally. But honestly, a 5-year-old, they usually don't want to change. And unless you have that intrinsic want and need to change, hypnosis really won't work for you. So those really are the two biggest reasons why it really doesn't work for little kids. By the time you're 10, on average, that's not for every kid, a little bit younger some kids, a little bit older some kids, most can usually sit still and listen for a longer period of time. And also, a lot of them start to have to want that change. They might be doing sleepovers where they want to eat pizza with their friends, or they might be into sports where they're like, wow, I really want more energy to be able to play these sports. Or there's a variety of things that 10-year-olds or 11, 12, 13 start getting into, maybe some early, social group dates with friends where they want to kind of fit in more. And they tend to want to change more, but that intrinsic want starts happening at that older age. So that's why older kids tend to do a lot better. So if you have any questions, let me know. Email me at kelly@infinityhypnosis.com or just comment below.